I froze mid-step the moment I saw him. He was standing beside my wife, a champagne flute dangling awkwardly in his hand, smiling too wide, too nervous. He didn't know me yet, but I knew him. And I knew something was terribly wrong. "Ethan," my wife Clara called, her voice bright with a hint of unease. "You finally made it." She crossed the room, her sequin dress catching the light, the scent of her perfume, the one I'd bought her for our anniversary, filling the air between us. She looked stunning, radiant even. But behind that perfect smile, her eyes flickered, betraying something she was trying to hide. I forced a smile. "Couldn't miss your big night." She was hosting a corporate party at our home. Her first as the new marketing director. I had flown in early from my business trip just to surprise her. What I didn't expect was the surprise waiting for me. Because standing a few feet away was the man from her phone. I'd seen his name, Daniel W., pop up in late-night texts she claimed were work emergencies. I'd brushed it off, trusting her. After all, Clara and I had built 10 years together. A decade of shared mornings, laughter, fights, forgiveness. I'd believed we were stronger than temptation. Now that man, the ghost from those texts, was in my living room, holding a drink and looking like he'd seen one too many secrets. Clara slipped her hand around my arm and led me toward him, the room humming with chatter, glasses clinking, music low in the background. "Ethan, this is Daniel," she said, voice a little too smooth. "He's my coworker, the one I told you about from the London project." Daniel's hand trembled slightly as he extended it. "Pleasure to meet you, sir." That word hit me like a slap. He couldn't meet my eyes. His grip was weak. I studied him, mid-30s, polished but jittery. The kind of man who always looks like he's apologizing for something. "Likewise," I said evenly, not letting go of his hand for a few seconds too long. "I've heard a lot about you." Clara's smile faltered. Daniel laughed nervously. "All good things, I hope." "Oh, I'm sure." I turned to Clara, who was now glancing around as if searching for a way to escape the conversation. It was subtle, but I noticed how her body leaned slightly away from me, toward him. That's when it started. The quiet, suffocating storm inside me. For the next hour I played my role, the doting husband, the polite host. But every time I caught them exchanging glances across the room, something inside me cracked a little more. She'd smile at him in that gentle, knowing way, the one she used to smile at me. He'd smile back like someone who knew a secret no one else did. And I kept thinking, did it start as friendship? A late-night project? A shared laugh that went too far? How does something pure twist itself into betrayal? Dinner was served. Candlelight, wine, conversation. I sat beside Clara, my hand resting on her thigh beneath the table. I felt her stiffen. "What's wrong?" I whispered. "Nothing," she said quickly, forcing a smile for the table. But her hand moved mine away. That's when I knew. Not suspected. I didn't say anything. Not yet. After dessert, when most of the guests had left, Daniel was still there, helping Clara gather glasses, laughing at her jokes. I stayed back silent, watching. Finally I walked over. "Daniel, before you head out, can I have a word?" Clara froze. "Ethan." "It'll just take a second," I said calmly. We stepped into my study, the door closed behind us. Daniel swallowed hard. "Listen, Mr. Carter." "It's Ethan," I interrupted. "You look nervous, Daniel. Something wrong?" He tried to laugh. "No, sir. Just long day, you know." I nodded, pacing slowly. "Tell me, Daniel, how long have you known my wife?" About a year. Since she joined the firm." "Right. The London project. That trip was, what, 3 weeks?" He hesitated. 2.5. I smiled faintly. "Funny. Because she told me it was 4. Silence. He looked at the floor. His face was pale now, white like every drop of blood had drained out of him. That's when he realized. I knew. I stepped closer. "You ever look at another man's home and wonder how it feels to destroy it?" He stammered. I didn't mean for anything." Save it, I cut him off quietly. She's my wife, Daniel. My life. He started shaking. I'm sorry, she said things were over between you two. She said what? That you were gone. That the marriage was done. I let out a hollow laugh. She said that while sleeping in our bed, under the same roof I built for her. He couldn't even look at me. I walked to the door, opened it, and nodded toward the hallway. You should leave, Daniel. He hesitated, then slipped out silently. When I turned back, Clara was standing there. She'd heard everything. Her face was pale, eyes glassy with guilt. Ethan, please. Don't, I said. My voice was calm, but it felt like glass in my throat. How long? Tears welled in her eyes. It just happened. I didn't plan it. How long, Clara? She broke then, voice shaking. 6 months. The room seemed to tilt. My hands went numb. 6 months. Half a year of lies, of us pretending to be okay. Of me holding her hand while she held someone else's heart. I wanted to scream. Break something. But instead I just whispered. Why? Her shoulders trembled. You were gone so much. Always traveling, working late. I was lonely, Ethan. I felt invisible. Closed my eyes. So you found someone to make you feel seen. A sob. It wasn't like that at first. He listened. He cared. And then, I don't know. It just happened, I finished for her. Like all the best betrayals. We stood in silence. The clock ticked loudly. Outside, laughter faded as the last guests left. I finally said, you could have told me. She wiped her tears. I was scared. Of losing me. She hesitated, then whispered. Of losing everything. That hurt more than the affair. Because in that moment, I realized she wasn't crying for me. She was crying for the comfort she was about to lose. I slept in the guest room that night. Or at least I tried to. The smell of her perfume still lingered in the sheets. Every memory we'd built, the laughter, the nights we talked till dawn, the plans we made. All of it felt poisoned now. At 3 a.m., I found myself in the kitchen, staring at our wedding photo on the counter. We looked so young, so sure of forever. She walked in quietly, wearing my old hoodie. Can we talk? I didn't look at her. There's nothing left to say. She reached out, her voice trembling. Please, Ethan, don't give up on us. I turned then, meeting her tear-streaked face. You gave up first. Her lips parted, but no words came out. By morning I'd packed a bag. She stood at the doorway as I grabbed my keys. Where will you go? I don't know, I said. But somewhere I don't have to wonder what's real. She reached for my hand. I love you. I looked at her for a long time. No, Clara. You love what I gave you, not me. Then I walked out. Weeks later I got a text from her. I ended things with Daniel. I'm getting help. Miss you. I stared at the message for a long time, then deleted it. Some wounds don't need closure. They need distance. Sometimes late at night, I still wonder what would have happened if I hadn't come home early that evening. Maybe she'd still be smiling across dinner tables, pretending, and I'd still be believing every word. But I did come home. And I saw the truth, raw, ugly, undeniable. And as painful as it was, it set me free.
Because sometimes, the moment someone else's face turns white, yours finally begins to heal.